everybody. Welcome to Rock Titan Live. I'm Scotty J, and we're here with the always illustrious Doug Doug Pinnick of King's X and KXM, and he's been doing a Jimi Hendrix tour, and you've got so much going on, man. It's amazing.
It's pretty crazy.
I tell you, it's funny because, I tried to catch up with you a couple months ago and, you'd been touring with King's X. You were doing some shows at that point, but then I know you've been doing the Hendrix stuff as well. And just from the last time you and I had a chance to catch up at Sellersville Theater, you had a book come out, the oral history of King's X. And I had a chance to read some of that. Man, you've got it going on. Last time you and I talked, you had like a new pedal coming out, and you had some new KXM videos coming out. I mean, it's nonstop. Boom, 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 boom. Is that just Doug's life, man? You
That's
always
my
got stuff
life
going
right
on?
now, but it's kind of slow right now since Jerry is getting operated on and Ty's having some family problems with his dad. We've had to take about 4 months off.
Oh no.
And so I'm here catching up with other stuff. Got a Christmas thing I'm going to sing on with Bob Kulick and Greg Bissonette and some guys.
Oh,
And
nice.
let me see what else. I got enough songs to make a new record, solo record, so that you might see one by first of the year. You know,
Oh
the
man.
King's X record is being mixed right now, but it won't come out till in 2000 sometime. But I can shit out a solo record right now. I got the songs. I just got to go mix them and get Joe at Rat Pack to put it out. But
Why am I not surprised, man? I mean, of course you would say something like that. But I guess the last stuff I saw, just with King's X, the last news that I heard was you guys had
hmm
17 tracks mixed,
yeah,
and done. So
uh-huh.
is that what this next King's X album is going to be? 17 songs, or has there been more
Uh,
added to that?
nah, there'll probably be less. There's a couple
Oh,
songs
okay.
that we're gonna leave out. And by the time we got done with it, we just felt like they weren't up to par.
All right.
I liked them, but Ty didn't. He didn't. It's a song he wrote that he wanted to take off, and there's a song that I wrote that I haven't got lyrics for yet, and I've been struggling with it. So those two songs won't be on this record, but
All right.
the rest of them. So 15 songs, yeah. Maybe it'll
That's solid, man. And I tell
maybe
you
it'll be a
what,
triple album or something.
well, since 15 came out, I mean, I know that there are a lot of King's X fans out there that have been waiting a long, long time for
Yeah, I
some new
know.
material, man. It's
hmm
like the suspense is killing us. So we're looking at 2020 right now.
Yeah,
All right. All
I don't
right.
know when. We haven't figured out the date yet, but we want it to be right when it comes out.
Right
We don't
on.
want to rush and have to have a deadline and stuff. This is it's got to be a good record. I mean, we put 15 records out almost, or 14. I can't remember now, but we can't just shit out another record. This has got to be better than anything we've ever done, or we're not going to put it out. And that's no ego. It's just that that's what we want to give to our people. Because
Sure.
why? Because it's not worth it if it's not going to be up to par. I mean, we're not doing it just to go in and make a record. We waited this long just to be ready. I mean, I think everybody's on the same page now when it comes to going forward and making this record the best we can and having faith in ourselves.
That's
Because I
awesome,
mean,
man.
and think about it, we've been together for God, almost 40 years,
Oh
and
my God.
we've never had a hit record really. So so we're pretty jaded. It's like we're not expecting it to sell a lot, but we believe our people will love them, love it, they
All
love the
right.
songs.
All right. So, King's X fans out there, Doug Pinnick fans out there, you heard it from the man himself. They've never produced a hit record. They've never produced a hit record, man.
That's okay. We got to make records though for
Oh,
years and
no. What I'm
years
saying is,
and get paid for it, and we got people that love us, and it's all good.
I think your fans would take exception with that. I really do, man. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them because seriously, man. I mean, you guys, you're amazing. And Doug, I love your voice, man.
Thank
I
you.
was going out and I was listening to some of your newer stuff because you had a KXM video, I guess, just come out
hmm
like a month ago.
Yeah.
And, and you've done a few of those since Circle of Dolls came out. And I do want to talk to
hmm
you a little bit about that. But I mean, your voice it's so incredible. And it's funny because we did talk about this before, with you doing the Jimi Hendrix tribute. It's scary almost how much your voice sounds like Jimmy's. It really does. You've got to hear a lot of that, man.
I do, and it's funny when I'm talking. Sometimes I sound like him. People kind of when I'm in the studio and the producers, producing, and I'll say something, and he'll stop and go, "Dude, that gave me goosebumps. You sounded like Jimi Hendrix talking." I don't know. I'm not trying.
No, I know. That's just your voice. But I mean, it's so awesome. I want to talk to you a little bit about your book, man, because I had a chance to read some of it. I didn't read all of it, but I did get to tear into a good bit of it. And I thought it was so interesting, and I loved how unique it was because, a lot of times when you're reading like a biography or an autobiography about a band, it at least is usually coming from one person's perspective. It has one voice. But in the case of King's X, the oral history, everybody, if you haven't had a chance to go read it, buy it, go check it out. It's on Amazon. It's all over the place. Go out to the King's X website, King's X Rocks. The oral history. I thought it was so cool how it was your perspective and Jerry's perspective and Ty's perspective. Like every one of you has a voice in this book, and it's all from your different perspectives.
And they're quite different from each other too.
Right. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, did you learn anything new about one another that you had never known before?
Think about this scenario. If you and your girlfriend or your spouse or somebody you've been with for 35, 40 years, and you've had a whole life together, and then you go to a therapist and you find out a whole bunch of stuff you didn't know about how people felt about things and things that have happened in the past and your part in it. It's a really, it was an opening. It opened my eyes up, to see who they think I am and who I think they are. Put it that way.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's cool. So, did you discover anything new?
Yeah, but it's pretty personal.
Okay, yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah,
Because if I do that, there'll be. It's like Donald Trump tweeting things that people misunderstand,
yeah.
and I don't want to be misunderstood, so I have to just keep it that way. I just know that I've learned things that I've been doing that I didn't know that other people in the band felt. I don't know. It's sort of like, how do you put it? I'm a pretty dominant person in the band, I think, and I didn't realize how dominant I might have been to other people's egos and psyche, and in my ignorance, and not being sensitive to understand and really pay attention to other people and think about them more than myself. I mean, we're all pretty self-centered people, and we think we're going along, and we wonder why we have conflict, and a lot of times we realize that it's us creating the conflict. And so I learned some things about myself, the conflict that I've created that I didn't realize.
No
and
kidding.
So,
wow.
Yeah, and I think we're all learned. I think we all learned. I don't know. I haven't really talked to the guys about how they feel about it. I've told them how I feel about it.
Right.
It was encouraging and eye opening. Because it gave me freedom to be me in this band. Instead of being what's the word for it? Everybody has their little idiosyncrasies in friends and bands and marriages. You tiptoe around certain issues, and there's things you learn to find out a friendship. You got to learn how to live with people. But I've realized that I've suppressed some things that I didn't need to suppress because it wasn't how you put it? It wasn't a problem. So, like I said, this is real general, but if you think about the whole scope of it, yes, my eyes are open.
That's awesome.
Especially from what other people said too, which blew my mind. I mean, some of my peers who I've hung out with for years and years did not know that how we affected them, deep down inside. Just blows my mind.
Right. Now, the foreword was actually written by Scotty Ian of Anthrax.
Yeah.
How did that all happen? How far do you guys go back?
Scotty, God, we go back to day one. I mean, we were on Megaforce when they were back in our first record came on Megaforce in '88, and they had been on Megaforce for a couple of years doing their thing, Metallica and them, and Overkill and, Testament, all those metal bands. So I've known those guys, I mean, from day one. And Scotty, he's one of the biggest King's X fans around. And him and forgot the drummer's name now. God, I feel like an idiot because whenever I gotta say people's names, my brain goes blank, and it's so embarrassing because I feel like I've dissed the person I care about.
Right
But
on, man. Yeah, I do the same thing. The worst
Charlie,
part is when you
Charlie
forget the
Benante.
name of the person you're actually talking to at that very time, you know?
I was on a date one time and someone came up and I tried to introduce my date to the person. I forgot her name. And she never spoke to me again.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. But
Yeah,
so Scott wrote the foreword for you guys, though.
Yeah, I first asked Jerry Cantrell, and Jerry said yes, and he didn't get back to me. And I texted him again about a couple of weeks later, and he didn't get back to me. And then I said, Rita, have you seen him? And she says, oh, you just got to keep bugging him because he spaces out and he forgets to get back to you. And that's the way I am. So I totally understood. But I didn't want to bug him. I don't want to bug anybody. So I just figured after a while, I thought, well, if you really, really, if you really want to do something, you're on it. If it's not that big deal to you, then fine. And I asked Scotty to do it.
Right on, man. Well, you snooze, you lose. That's why I've been bugging you for so long now, Doug, because it's been a while since we caught up. So like you said, if you want something that bad, you keep after it. That's why I've been harassing you. So
I know.
Take it personally, man. Take it very personally.
Jerry's a pretty busy guy, and he's got all the stuff going, and I get it, because so many times things will just pass by me, and I'll forget months later and go, oh man, I forgot,
Yeah, right on.
But Jerry usually always gets back to me, but he was on tour at the time, and it was pretty crazy.
Well, I know Allison Chains has been pretty busy, and it's cool. It's good to be busy, as are you. But one thing I'm curious about the book, so obviously you learned some new things about yourselves and Jerry and Ty, and, there was some of that stuff. Was there anything covered in the book where, as you were going through making it, that you had just totally forgotten about, and it kind of resurrected old memories, and you're just like, wow, was there anything specific of note that you had forgotten, like a little tidbit? Because obviously we want everyone to go buy the book, the Oral History of King's X. But was there anything specific that you can think of, like off the top of your head, because I know I'm putting you on the spot, that you had just kind of forgotten about, that you're like, oh man, this would be such a cool story to have in the book?
No. There's so many stories that, I mean, after a while, it just gets crazy. I mean, every now and then I'll be telling somebody, or they'll be telling me a story and go, man, that should have been in the book, and that should have been. But at the end of the day, everybody's life is exciting. And I think that anybody who writes a book about what they do, there's so many stories that can be told. And that's why we asked other people to tell the stories too, because so many stories are told by other people that they're better than me telling the story. I love to hear these stories too. And a lot of the stories that people tell me, I don't remember. And I go, oh my God, I don't remember that. But cool. Dude, that was cool.
That is cool.
And in fact, in my old age lately, I've been running into a lot of old friends who are starting to tell me these stories back 20, 30 years ago. And, a friend of mine, I ran into him, said, man, my dad kicked me out of the house and you let me sleep on on your couch. Man, I'll never forget that. And I'm going, I did? I remember hanging out with you. I remember all this stuff, playing bass. He was a bass player, and, I let him use my amp and stuff. He was pretty young at the time. He had a young band there, like 14, 15 years old, and they sounded like the Ramones. And they opened for us back in the day before we got a record deal. Yeah. And the drummer, Alan, went on to play with the Galactic Cowboys, actually. And but just all these stories. I've had so many people in my life that have come and gone, that have spent maybe a year or two with me, lived with me, or in some kind of place where we had to deal with each other for a while. So there's always these stories, because you know me, I like to put people under my wings and throw them to the wolves.
Yeah, right on. No,
it's a good way to say it, but I like to get young musicians who are looking for that door to get out. And so I open the door for them, but I say, this is all you're getting. I'm going to open the door and throw you to the wolves. You got to figure it out like we all do.
Hey, man, there's no better way to learn,
Can't hold anybody's hand.
Right. Now, I know you've been doing a little bit of like a documentary series behind this too. You know,
Hmm.
like you've had a journalist kind of, putting all this on video.
Yeah, I can't wait till we see that. He's magical.
Yeah.
He showed us the trailer. He made up a mock trailer with some of the footage that he had, and it brought me to tears. And it was kind of just the way he films everybody and the thoughtfulness of it and the coloring and how he does things and the music he plays. It's just, wow, people are going to really feel this because he wants people to this is like getting to know King's X more than, oh, what we did and who we are and what. But he's trying to get deep inside us to find out who we are as people. And then
Right.
he was piecing it together. He's visiting our parents. He's going to, places where we played. I gave him a tour of Houston, Texas, where all the places that we played at, and the rehearsal room that I mean, we went down the list of just every little nook and cranny. You're gonna love this video. It's chock full of
Now,
stuff.
so like I've just seen the bits and pieces on the King's X
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel. Is
Mm-hmm.
this going to be like a YouTube movie, or is this going to be published in a different way on other outlets? Like, where
I
can
actually
people?
don't know.
Okay, all right, all right. But for right now, people can go kind of see the development of this out on the King's X YouTube channel.
I didn't even know that there's a King's
Really?
X music channel. Well, I'm gonna have to check that. Let me write that down. King's
You
X
actually do have a YouTube channel, Doug.
X YouTube. Okay.
Oh man, that's too good.
I'm gonna look
That's
that up
funny.
too.
That's
I
funny,
never have
man.
time. I'm so busy just making music and running around and playing. And I just moved into this house, and it's a
Okay.
really cool place. And
Nice.
I forgot what it's like to have a house again. So it's never done.
Right on, man. Oh my God, I
Work
know.
is never done. It's
Oh, I
like I get
know.
up in the morning, and it's like I'm going to bed going, oh, I haven't even dented the list.
Man. Well, I know you're busy. I know you're busy because not only do you have King's X, but you got KXM with Ray
Yep.
Luzier and of course George Lynch. And you've got your third album with those guys out
Hmm.
already. Man, so you're
Hmm.
cranking out all this stuff with KXM, and here we are waiting for King's X, man. What the heck? What's up with that? I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, everybody's pissed at us, but hey, wait till I throw this solo record out. People are going, what the fuck?
Right? Come on, man. Priorities, priorities.
It
But
ain't my fault. People been blaming me for that, but it wasn't my fault that King's X hasn't put a record out in 15 years.
Now, I know I've been bugging you about this, and I'm sure you've
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of other people bugging you about this too. But correct me if I'm wrong, Doug. But KXM, you guys haven't even toured. Like, you haven't even played live, have you?
We almost did. We had a tour that was being booked, but it got canceled.
What? Dude, that would be so off the rails. I mean, if you were out
It,
there with
it, it
Ray and
was.
George, it would be sick.
Well, what happened? What happened was Corn Record and KXM came out the same day. Corn came in at number one. KXM came in at number five. There was a problem, and so it's all canceled.
What in the Okay, well, I'm not gonna pry, but I mean,
I'm not.
Circle of Dolls. I
All I
mean,
know is I know is that I don't understand how 52 million records can affect a band that sells zero. Basically, but
oh,
that's
come
the
on, man.
way it is.
Circle of Dolls. I mean, it's killer. Everybody, go check out Circle of Dolls,
Thanks.
KXM. It
Pass it to
is
your friends. Play
it
it.
it's awesome. I mean, truly,
Thanks.
it's awesome. I mean, I can't explain necessarily why one thing does well versus something else. I mean, well, you've been through it. You've been through it your
Yeah.
entire career. I mean, you do something, you create a piece of work, and you're like, oh man, like I think personally, this is going to be
Mm.
huge. And then
Yeah.
something else that you would have never thought maybe would have, done as well is
True.
huge. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, what? It's all.
I've always looked at it this way. Ray Daniels, who managed us back in the day, he manages Rush, and I think he still manages Van Halen. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
we were all in that camp together for a while, and Ray really, really tried to push us and really make it work. I mean, he's a great manager. Look who he's got, who he's working for.
Right.
But he said to me, he says, I don't know what to do. You guys are like a fine wine. Not very many people like you. but the ones that do love you. And that's the thing about King's X is we don't have a huge following, but our fans are more loyal than just about any other band, I've been told. And so, that's a good thing. The story that King's X has is the underdog who has it all.
Right on.
We've got everything that we need. We pay our bills. We got the people that love us. We can make music. Nothing's changed. We do what we want to. It's just that we didn't sell zillions of records, and I'm glad we didn't. Even Ty says if we sold, went platinum, we'd probably have broken up and found all kinds of ways to demons or whatever you want to call it. It probably would have screwed us up. So, I look back now and I wouldn't change a thing,
Right on, man.
I'm called a legend, even though and hey, that's good enough.
Well, you have
Good enough
influenced
for
so
me.
many people. I mean, and you've got a lot of fans out there, I mean, and it's funny, because I mean, the term legend, sometimes it can get thrown around loosely,
Mm-hmm.
although in terms of Doug Pinnick, it certainly is not. But, just some guys we were talking about earlier, a guy like Tony Franklin, the
Yeah.
fretless monster,
Mm-hmm.
plays the bass just like yourself. And,
Right.
he's a phenomenal musician. And then someone like Carmine Appice, and you were talking about his brother,
Yeah.
earlier on,
Mm-hmm.
Vinny, fans of yours, and I know you're fans of theirs.
Yes.
So, it's pretty cool. Now, have you ever had any collaboration with Carmine? Because obviously you talked about Vinny, but was there ever any chance that you might do anything with Carmine?
If you pull out the Guitar Zeus album,
You're on that, yeah.
yeah, next time around or whatever it was, this time around. It's
Yeah,
one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite vocal tracks I've ever sung, and I've only had two, maybe three vocal tracks I've ever actually thought I nailed what I was trying to do, and that's one song that I thought, oh, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
yeah.
I was happy with that, and somebody else wrote the lyrics and the melody, but it was perfect for me.
Yeah, so everybody guitar Zeus. And yeah,
Yeah.
Doug is featured on that. Yeah, as is, and you were talking about Bob Kulick earlier. I know Bruce Kulick, his brother, he's featured on
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Oh God, that is just got like a who's who of rock stars on that baby. I mean,
Carmine got him on. Oh, you mean yeah, Bob Kulick? Well, who were we talking about? Carmine, right?
Carmine, yeah. But then
Okay, okay.
Bruce Kulick was on
Yeah, yeah,
Guitar
yeah.
Zeus, I know. So, man, yeah, man. So, all right. So I know you got to get going. I want to be sensitive to your time because I know you are a busy man, even though I have been waiting forever to finally talk to you. And again, we are
Sorry
here
about
with
that.
Doug Pinnick. No way, no way. Don't be sorry at all. It is my honor and privilege to be speaking with you right now. But this new King's X album that is going to be coming out in 2020. It's been a long wait since the last one. Is there anything? Are there any new infusions, influences, anything that would say be a stark contrast to what you did with 15? What can people be expecting? What can the loyal King's X fan base that you are very well aware of? What can they be expecting?
I think that we took every song and tried to individually mix, create, vibe, everything different from the next song. So each song is different, drastically different. It's people that have heard it. Several of my friends have heard rough mixes, and the majority of them all say it sounds like King's X, but it's not King's X. There's not hardly anything reminiscent of anything we've done before, musically, genre type, like a flavor. King's X has a flavor.
Right,
Um,
right.
and it's just different. Even from one song to the next, Michael Parnan, who's producing it and engineering it, just said, I can't believe these two songs are on the same record. And we just go, yeah, I hope this works. And we go from Meshuggah to Penny Lane,
Wow.
and our own take on it. So
Okay.
we got some fucked up math to, the Beatles, with flowers and with trumpets and violins, and I mean we threw everything in. We're pulling, you know, uh, the cello and the violin and stuff like that, and incorporating stuff in the songs, like we did on the fourth album.
Okay.
There's a lot of cello and violin in it, but you can barely tell it. But it lifted it up. Yeah, we just decided to make every song like a hit song, the best we could make it. So this song is, I listen to them and I go, we all got a hit song on this record.
Right on.
All of us. Ty's got one. It's like the best of the Foo Fighters, man. I love this song. And Jerry's got one that is so Beatles-ish that I think that those guys are, their spirits are like walking around through the room, And I got one Sugar's one of my favorite bands, and I've got to know those guys, and so I got some fucked up math stuff going. So
that's wild, man.
And we're not trying to imitate anybody. We're just being inspired. We really went back to the old thing, the things that moved us the most, the things that touched us. We're trying to channel that attitude and that vibe. So this record is, every inch of it is something that we're behind and we enjoy doing it. I don't want to put another record out and go, I can't listen to that. I can't deal with it. Most records that King's X has done, I can't listen to it. I just go, oh, I wish I could fix that and that and that.
That's just the musician in you, man. You're a perfectionist, and I get it.
Yeah, and we've made so many records, and at 69 years old, we've all learned a lot in music, So there's so much music that's gone through our heads and that we've listened to, that the only thing we can do is make a good record. How can we? I feel that we know what we like. And if we know what we like and we put it down on tape, then it's going to be good because we love it. And so we hope everybody loves this record.
Dude, you're 69?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. I guess I kind of knew that just from having looked at your bio so many dang times, but man, the years have been kind.
Yes, they have.
What do you do, man? How do you...
Runs in the family. All my brothers and sisters, all of us are 10, 15 years younger than we look.
Man.
Or older than we look.
That's awesome.
My brother Charlie looks like he's 21 and he's 41.
Wow.
And I look at him and go, yeah, that's what I look like when I was 41, like I was 20. I go, wish I could go back to that.
No,
everybody says I look like I'm in my early 50s. And that is a compliment for somebody who's 69. But I put my head down and go, oh, I wish they said I look like I was 20.
Yeah, now you do take care of yourself, though, man. You look great. You do.
Thank you.
You've been timeless. So everybody, again, we are here with Dug Pinnick, King's X, and can't wait.
KXM, PGP, Super Shine.
Yes,
Grinder Blues.
The list goes on and on. Yes, everybody can try to sing like Doug, but I got news for you. There's no one that's going to sound like Doug, and there's only one person.
And if they do, they're not going to sell any records.
No. Oh,
my voice is not the flavor of the month.
Oh, please, yo, listen, everybody. Right now, we are here with the King of Groove, all right?
Thank you.
Seriously, when you say, may the groove be with you. It should be. It should be. I know you do. And it should be with everyone. And everybody, you want to get your rock on, you want to get your groove on, you want to get your funk on, go listen to some King's X. Go check out the entire catalog. And I know, Doug, I for one, I speak for myself, of course, but I feel confident and speaking for all of the King's X fan base out there when I say we cannot wait for this new album to come out. Now, are you going to be doing any videos ahead of the launch?
I hope so.
Okay.
I don't know, though. But, it seems like that's what we should be doing.
Well, you have put out some great ones with KXM. Yeah, you better do them with King's X.
Well, the thing is, nowadays, you got to put videos out.
Right?
That's your commercial, and that might be the only thing that anybody sees of you, because they probably won't buy the record because people don't buy records anymore.
Well, they should,
Yeah, they should.
And there's ways to do that. You know what? Vinyl is kind of like that, eclectic kind of,
we're doing the vinyl up really good. It's going to be a great package.
Awesome. Because people still like getting
special treat.
People still like getting vinyl. It's that collector's item that's just different than anything else.
Yeah, and it's going to be mixed. It's going to be mixed as close to analog as you can get it.
Really?
For yeah, it's not going to be some squashed digital brick wall on vinyl. That's just stupid.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Well, Doug, as always, it is absolutely awesome talking to you. You are one of my favorite people on the
Bless you.
planet. And seriously, and congratulations. Congratulations
Thanks.
on all the success you've had.
Thank
And
you.
next time you're out my way, and, or maybe I'll come out your way. I need to head westward. I
If
don't
you
get
come out to
westward.
LA, just contact me.
I
I'm here.
will. I got your number, so I'll bug you.
Yes,
I'll
you
hit you
do.
up. All right, man. Doug, thank you so much. Everybody, I'm Scotty J. You are watching Rock Titan Live. May the groove be with you.
That's right.
We're out.